bosses, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Venus Austin and I'm the owner of an online boutique called Blank Wardrobe. You can follow us here. It should be something that pops up over here, and also hit that description box for more information about what we're going to be talking about and some resources for this video, and also of course the website blankwardrobe.com. Make sure you check us out after this video, of course. So I wanted to come on very quickly to talk about what's happening in the world, y'all. I don't know about you guys. I have been doing a lot of research and preparation just because I think it's the smart thing to do, and it's a natural thing that I do when in times like this or in times where I am uncertain. I do research and then I start to execute a plan or strategy. And so I decided to come on very quickly to share some of the research that I've done with you guys about coronavirus and specifically its impact on retail. And so owning a online boutique, obviously that's retail, and I wanted to take this time because if you follow me on Instagram, follow me on social media, you notice I've been a little bit quiet, and that's intentional just because I've been wanting to have the space and have the time to see how I was going to pivot. Just because also, you guys, fun fact, I have a 9-to-5 for those who don't know. And we are teleworking, meaning we're working from home. And so with that being said, retailers, businesses, companies, corporations, whatever you want to refer to yourself as, they've been impacted in some type of way, and they are pivoting and making changes like this, you know. So I wanted to do some research and of course share that with you guys in case you were wondering what other people are doing and what you should do. So let's dive right on in. I have my notebook so that we can stay on track. And yeah, let's get into this video. So let's talk about what's happened. Okay, so you know, people are practicing social distancing. So like I referred to before in the introduction of my video, you know, many companies are having their employees stay and work from home. And so for those who don't know, social distancing is basically what it sounds like. It's when you do kind of self-isolation. So you're staying at home, you're avoiding large crowds, and to basically stop the spread of the illness, or kind of likelihood that it will spread. The other thing that's happened is this kind of panic. I've noticed like in the grocery stores, people are stockpiling on toilet paper and water and everything else. And you know, while I think that, you know, we want to make sure that we're preparing, I don't think that preparation should make us panic. There's a thin line between that, but I think preparing is different than panic. So some of the facts that are specific from my research with retail and how coronavirus is affecting retail specifically is mainly in the fact that supply chain management is something that people seem to be really concerned about and are starting to see some of the impacts of it already. And so mainly because the coronavirus originated in China, and China is one of the major players when it comes to textile and importing or exporting goods, specifically when it comes to its relationship to United States and how and where we get our product. So when we talk about supply chain management, that's your inventory and you know, where you're getting that from. And so for a lot of retail businesses, we too lean on China to be able to do production on some of the items and pieces that we have in our shops. And also, you know, any packaging or anything that we use, some of that has been printed and produced over in China and then shipped to us, to retailers who we purchase that material from. So when you talk about supply chain management, we're talking about kind of from the very small thing that you may have in your shop to the biggest thing and all the pieces that make up that good or that product that you sell or produce. So we're noticing not a hit, but we're starting to notice some changes in that, that over time will be more impacted depending on how long the coronavirus lasts and the impact of it in the beginning. The other thing that I found in my research is about luxury brands. And I learned a lot about that. Like luxury brands definitely, for example, Burberry had to close a lot of its shops over in China because of the social distancing and shutting cities down in China. And so they went ahead and shut down their boutiques and their stores. And the consumers over there are obviously not able to shop. And that's having an economic impact on Burberry, along with even Burberry here in the States, with them getting a lot of their goods produced over in China, and then those goods being shipped over here. All of that is being affected. So you'll notice that some luxury retailers are being hit the hardest. And it's kind of crazy. Milan Fashion Week is canceled for obvious reasons, and that's obviously making an impact on luxury brands and being able to showcase and release their collections. So luxury goods are having a difficult time, at least early on, with this. And so also for all of us, consumer spending habits. So currently from my research and what I've noticed is that you'll see an uptick in spending just because people are at home, they're teleworking, they're bored. That is the source of entertainment for them, is to shop. So you'll see a increase, and then they're thinking that depending on how long this lasts, is that you'll see kind of like that slowing down, and then after all of this kind of dies down and gets better, then you'll see an uptick again. And so I think currently we're in that kind of window of people just starting to be forced to work from home, and so they're bored, and so they're shopping. And then you'll see them be a little bit more conservative depending on how long this lasts, just because we don't know. That's the thing, like, we don't know. So the other thing that I read about and I've actually noticed is that a lot of brick and mortars are transitioning their services, and you being able to shop with them to online only or part-time. So part-time, they'll have the store open, then the rest of the time, all the time, they'll have their online shop open. So if you are an e-commerce retailer, that's good for you because you've been playing in this space before coronavirus. So you kind of had everything set up to be able to do so. If you are brick and mortar primarily, this is a good time to go ahead and kind of get your infrastructure set for being primarily online. So like I kind of alluded to before, if it's short-lived, we'll see something where maybe for the first and second quarter, your consumer spending is affected, and so the income that you're bringing in is going to maybe take a hit. If it's prolonged, then that time span can leak into third and fourth quarter, where I've read a lot about how this may, if it's prolonged, affect holiday sales and also back to school. So, it's a waiting game until we can figure out what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. And so that's why I did my research, because you kind of want to know what will happen in short term, what's going to happen if it's prolonged and it's something that lasts longer than into April, or maybe last until May. How is that going to affect us? So keep an eye on that, because if it's prolonged, obviously when we go back to the supply chain management piece that I mentioned, that's going to affect our inventory. Right now, for me, I would say I haven't noticed an effect in being able to have the items that I have in stock currently, just because I did that shopping early on. Now, what I will say, as I'm preparing the shop for summer and in the spring, I'm noticing that a lot of the vendors that I shop with are not going to have things available until April, May. And so that is different, because usually when they come out with a new piece, it's usually ready right then and there. And so you can already see the effects of that. So time will tell us what's going to happen. So some of the things that I recommend, because I'm the type of person where I'm like, okay, this is where we're at. this is what's happening. So how can we make sure that we can move forward? And it's not about benefiting from this time. It's about being strategic and making sure that you're doing things that's going to propel you forward and make you prepared for what's to come as much as you can, with what, as much as we know. We don't know a lot. So, I look at it as nothing can really hurt you at this point, right? So some of the things that I'm doing and I'm working on is to communicate with my customers. So let them know the things that are going to be changing. And really for Blank Wardrobe, we're not going to be changing a lot. I just want people to know that we're still here. We're still going to operate more or less normally. If you are brick and mortar or you have events coming up, maybe it's a good time to cancel those. Make sure that you are communicating that with customers so that they know that you have their interest in mind and that you're on it. You get it. You're not tone deaf. Okay. Also think about offering incentives, maybe free shipping or some deals and discounts. I'm thinking about doing this for Blank as well, just because, I want to be as responsive as I can for the fact that you may be working from home, you may be bored, but you also might want to be conservative with how you spend your money. And so with that being kind of at the top of my mind and trying to figure out a way that I can be helpful to that, or my company can be helpful to that, that's kind of one of the ways that I think that I can be helpful, is by offering them an experience that they may not be able to experience outside of this time. So just being responsive with those. Also, I'm going to do hella business housekeeping. Like, this is going to be the time that I get a lot of things I've been kind of putting off or I got off the wagon with housekeeping with Blank. So one of the things is accounting. We had an accountant. We're wrapping up with her. We're going to do all that in-house now that she got us really squared away with our QuickBooks and kind of got us set up with a nice little regimen with how we keep our books. So my husband's going to take that on full time. He has a full-time job too, but he's going to take that on full time for Blank, opposed to our accountant that we have currently. And then I'm going to work on updating policies. I'm going to do some inventory management, make sure things are up and matching in my Shopify with what I have on hand, and also work on some launches that I've been kind of holding off on. If you go to my website, you will notice that I launched the whole line of Blank merchandise, so Blank merch. So I've been wanting to do that for a year, you guys. So this is a good time for me to really get that up and going. So I'm working on that. Also, the ambassador program that I launched in January, kind of fell off on that. Going to get that back up and running. And then talk about strategies of how we move forward. In times like these, this is where you test your company, right? You test whether it can withstand times like these, whether you need to make some adjustments so that if we do go into a recession, for example, or any type of thing that's similar to coronavirus, that your business is future proof and growing and being able to develop. There's been a lot of businesses that have been made and have blown up from recessions that we've had back in 2008, 2009, that blew up around that time. So these are difficult times, but they're not impossible times. And so we want to use this as a time to really get everything straight in terms of housekeeping for our companies and make sure that we are making sure that we're future proof. So those are the things I'm planning to do with Blank. Guys, at the end of the day, I'm not an expert in this. I don't think anyone is. We're making our best guess, our best predictions based off of information and things that we've seen in the past. But the reality of it is we've never really seen anything like this in many of our lifetimes. Like, I've talked to my parents and they haven't ever witnessed anything like this. And so with that being said, we're doing this together. So I wanted to make this video to share what I've been able to research. If you are a business owner, especially if you do retail, go ahead and drop some comments in the comment section, some questions that you may have, some things that you may be doing right now to kind of get over this and prepare for the future, so that other people can get information. And sharing is caring, you guys, especially in a time like this. Let's support one another. We're gonna make it. Times like this, this too shall pass. Okay, so I just wanted to jump on very quickly to share that with you guys. And And that's it, you guys. So make sure you like and comment and subscribe. If you found this video helpful, share with a friend, and also hit that notification bell to know when we drop the next video. And you guys stay safe out there. Really be serious about social distancing. This is not a time to be, you know, I'm gonna live my best life and all by all means necessary, regardless of what's going on. This is serious. People are out here dying. People are getting sick. So be smart, be strategic, be gracious, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.